The following presentation is
Here we go again with AEW content. Oh boy, but what can I say? It gets it gets the most views. AEW views are unmatched. People want to hear about AEW and what people think about AEW. Watch this video do no numbers. Now, watch this video get like 10 views. Today I'm going to be discussing AEW viewership over the years. I'm on Fightful.com and I have they have a list of the ratings for every AEW show from their debut show October 2nd, 2019 to the present day 2024. We're going to go through them and we're going to see at what point, where were the peaks, where were the highs and the lows, and sort of what was happening during that time and what maybe caused a dip in viewership. We start with October 2nd, 2019, the debut show. This is still one of my favorite episodes to this day. Jake Hager coming out and attacking Dustin, and this is the beginning of the Inner Circle. That's one of my favorite moments in AEW history. I think it's because Jake Hager, I was watching him in Bellator, and so it was like surprising really to see that Jake Hager, of all people, would show up in AEW on their first show. This is also the beginning of the Wednesday Night Wars because NXT was also on during this time. And if I remember correctly, AEW beat the snot out of NXT in their debut show to start the Wednesday Night Wars with 1.4 million viewers. 1.4 million viewers. I don't know what NXT got. It might have gotten like a million or something. But I do think, if I remember correctly, AEW blew them out of the water with this one. Unfortunately, it is only downhill from there. They have never topped 1.409 million viewers ever. Of course they wouldn't though, everybody tuned in for the first time just to see what it was all about. So I'm not surprised they haven't gotten there ever again. What are you gonna do? It's their first show, but yeah, great number, 1.4. October 9th, 2019, the second show, 1.018 million viewers. So they lost about 400,000 people. However, still a great number. And especially going up against NXT. I remember they beat NXT, I want to say 98% of the time AEW beat NXT. I might be wrong. It might be more like, 75% of the time or something. But no, they won the Wednesday Night Wars, and then NXT moved to Tuesday nights. Although I do remember NXT won the final show. So NXT's final night on Wednesday, NXT did better. Although I will say, if NXT was, if they came back on Wednesdays, pretty sure NXT would be doing a lot better than AEW. Their third show got 963,000 viewers, so, at this point, we are now below the 1 million, and it is a long time before they reach 1 million again. The next time they reach over 1 million is September 9th of 2020, so they started the pandemic era. They went through all that stuff, went through Full Gear, Revolution, and September 9th of 2020, they finally crack 1.016 million viewers. Now, in between that time, we're looking at, high 600,000s to low 900,000s. That's what I'm seeing with these views here. Some of the peaks, 967,000 viewers, 940, 928. It is weird, though, to see at this point that they were getting, again, they're up against NXT, but they were getting like 685,000, 692, low 700s, high 600s. 2 weeks after the September 9th show, they get 585,000 viewers. We're going to keep that number in mind. This is the lowest so far. So let's see what happens later. It was a 1 hour late night edition of Dynamite. So I guess this would have started at 9 as opposed to 8. And this is September. So this is around 2020 All Out. And as we know, All Out 2020 is probably AEW's worst pay-per-view they've ever done. Oh my goodness. Matt Hardy and Sammy Guevara, that whole thing. There's the Orange Cassidy Jericho thing, which I didn't mind, but a lot of people seem to hate it. And we are back to regularly scheduled programming. Same kind of thing. High 600,000, low 900,000, except for December 9th of 2020, 995,000 viewers. What was going on there? I gotta check. Oh, it was Sting. That's right. So the week before, December 2nd, was Winter is Coming, and Sting appeared. So that was the debut of Sting. Again, one of my favorite moments in AEW history. And so, of course, that would have bumped the rating for the next show to 995,000 viewers. Isn't it weird that, like, 995,000 at this time was, like, pretty good, but then, like, a little bit later, it's like, oh, that's like, you know, it's not a million, so it's just okay. You get 995,000 viewers now? Tony Khan is rolling in money if he gets 995,000 viewers now. Tony Khan's the happiest man on the planet. Ratings start to dip for a couple of weeks until the Brody Lee tribute, one of my favorite episodes of AEW. I thought it was an incredible tribute show that gets 977,000 viewers. And I didn't forget, okay, the WWE diehard fans ripped that number apart. And that's all they could think of for Brody Lee's tribute show. You disgusting people. Bro, like, the IWC was one of the reasons why I had to stop watching WWE for a while. But there was like a solid year and a half where I just couldn't stand WWE fans, and I thought they were just like the worst people ever. So I morally couldn't watch WWE programming. I don't really know what happened. You know, Vince left, so I'm back. And also AEW started to stink. So, I mean, what choice did I have, really? Weeks pass, months pass, we're still looking at the same kind of thing, you know? However, April 14th, 2021, 1.29 million viewers. What was going on? They were still in Daly's place. So it was June when they started to go back on the road. But something must have been happening around April 2021, because April 14th, 1.29 million views. Next week, 1.1 million views. Next week, 889,000. But the week after that, 1.09 million views for Blood and Guts. You know what it was? It was the Pinnacle. That's what it was. The Pinnacle storyline with MJF creating his own inner circle. That was what brought the viewers, I think. I could be totally wrong. Unless they teased CM Punk at this time, because there was a time, I don't think it was in April though, I thought it was like May or June. Then there are 4 weeks in a row where AEW airs at 10 p.m. and the ratings for these are horrible. 526, 462, 487, 552. But now we get to the glory moment of AEW, because AEW starts getting over 1 million viewers most weeks pretty consistently. So 2 things happened here. First of all, in April of 2021, NXT moved to Tuesday nights. That's number 1. Number 2, in June, late June, I believe, CM Punk arrives in AEW. You know, and you can say that CM Punk was tough to work with, and it was a good thing that Tony fired him, and maybe it was, but there is no denying CM Punk made this company what it is. So starting July 14th, 2021, there are 4 weeks in a row where they get over 1 million viewers. Next 2 weeks, high 900,000s. But then for the next, oh my goodness, I want to say 7 weeks, again, over 1 million viewers. 1.1, 1.3, 1.2, 1.1, 1.1. Now, I don't know what happened October 16th, 2021, because the views went pfft. And instead of over 1 million views, they get 727, 575, 941, 878. So it looks like, so this is kind of like they're back to what is regular. And they start to transition into 2022. Now in 2022, they do hit 1 million viewers early, quite often, right? So I see there's a couple in January. There's one in February, one in March. March 23rd, 2022, they get 1.046 million viewers. And then after that, no million for AEW. You want to know why? It's because Cody Rhodes went to WWE. No million for AEW until June 29th of 2022, where they get 1 million views, and that was Blood and Guts. And then after that, you know, they're still doing really well. Like, they didn't go below 900,000 for the entire month of July, for the entire month of August. In fact, in August, they start getting 1 million again, which is very strange because summer is usually a time where wrestling, you know, people are outside more. You know, they're touching grass, which is something a lot of the IWC needs to do. We got to remember, August 24th, 2022, this is kind of building up to All Out. You know, it's going to be CM Punk and Jon Moxley in the main event of All Out. And so for 5 weeks in a row, from August 24th to September 21st, AEW gets over 1 million views. Now we got to keep in mind too, you know, some of these millions of views after, you know, September 7th and onwards, that was Brawl Out. Punk is suspended, the Elite are suspended, but this was the beginning of the end. After Brawl Out, it's pretty good. It's still in the usually the 900,000s, high 800,000s. But then on February 22nd, 2023, they do hit 1 million viewers. And that, my friends, was the final million. So after February 22nd, 2023, we're in the, mid 800,000s. And that carries on until around October of 2023. See, October 10th, 2023, they went head to head with NXT. Right? This was NXT Mania. So everyone was wondering, who's going to win? Who's going to win in the viewership? Is it going to be AEW or is it going to be NXT with John Cena, The Undertaker, Cody Rhodes, and all those guys? AEW gets 609,000 viewers. And it's at this point where we can see a decline, because no more 900,000s for AEW. Now we're in the mid to low 800,000s. That carries on for a couple of weeks until we get to around the end of 2023, beginning of 2024, and we start to see more 700,000s than usual. March 27th, 747, April 3rd, 752, and last week it was 703,000 viewers. Now, to be fair, it is playoff season and stuff, and there's sports. I don't care about sports. When has Raw just got like 1.6 million? Playoffs have been a thing forever, okay? Except for the pandemic. There is no excuse. There must be change. Now, I thought the May 1st Dynamite was a great show. And we'll see how the viewers are in the weeks and months going forward. That is all I have. Good night.